Hello, hello. I'm Daniel,
And I'm Chelsea.
and this is Launch Code Football. We are back for another week, and technically less than, I know, about 24 hours since our first live stream that went swimmingly and without any technical problems whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely. No technical problems.
You
Not
know,
us.
you know what? John Elway didn't have a good rookie season and then became a Hall of Fame quarterback. So this
So
is
did Peyton Manning.
good point. Yeah, so and Tom Brady didn't even play his rookie season.
That's true. It's always up from here.
So we're going to do something a little fun this week. First, we're going to combine the recap and the preview into one episode. And for Thursday, we're just going to surprise you it's going to be a surprise. Just tune in well, tune in for every episode, but just you'll be happy for coming in for Tuesday's episode, especially. So that's just a little carrot, a little hint for you.
Yeah, Thursday will be something special. Definitely tune in then.
So with the recap, this week has been, well, I was obviously a little happier than Chelsea at the end of this week because the live stream was about my Steelers being the Colts. But so if you want to hear our take on that game, you have to go back and watch the live stream on YouTube. It's still there. And we'll talk about some of the other games and some of the other crazy storylines from week 9 in the NFL season. And to start, let's go back to a little before, well, I guess technically the first game of week 9, which is unfortunately, the Ravens are back, and for all my Miami Dolphin fans out there, I'm afraid it's just the end of the era. The Ravens just completely dominated the Dolphins on Thursday night, and almost immediately afterwards, you Chris Greer agreed parted ways, which is just basically the nice way of saying get out of the office. We'll send someone to get your things. And they just traded their defensive lineman Jalen Phillips to Philadelphia for a third round pick. So I
Howie
guess.
Roseman masterclass again.
Yeah, stop taking phone calls from Howie Roseman in the NFL. He just waits to see all the bad teams about to go on collapse and say, I'm going to clean up. I'm going to clean up right now." But first,
Honestly, I think the Dolphins got bad value back though. I mean, a third for a guy that's over 25 at this point, that's not bad. But still, stop answering his calls. I don't care if it's a good deal or not. They have like 18 O linemen or D linemen that are actually better than most teams' actual D line. Like, don't they need other positions
who would have
besides that?
who would have thought that the team in the NFC East that gets a defensive lineman before the trade deadline would not be the Cowboys, but be the Eagles. But that we're not.
Shocking.
But we're not talking about the Eagles. We're not going to talk about the Ravens because guess what? Surprise, surprise! When Lamar Jackson plays, the Ravens are a really good team. Anyone can tell you that. This is just, I guess this is pouring one out. It's end of the Dolphins era because chances are McDaniel's probably finished the season and gets fired on Black Monday, and they're probably gonna try to do some of his contract, and it's so funny because I think I sent a meme in our group chat of just like the Dolphins won the game 70-20 against the Denver Broncos like 3, 4 years ago. And since then, those two teams just went on completely different trajectories, with the Broncos shipping off Russell Wilson, getting Sean Payton, just building the team up to now being a playoff team. And the Dolphins just they don't have a playoff win in this McDaniel tour era. And it's sad because it's just came down to just the concussion problem. The concussion problem with Tua basically just completely destroyed that team.
It's a shame because I don't even think Tua is a bad player. I think he's stuck on a team that has a bad O line, generally speaking, which doesn't do him any favors. But I mean, when he's on, he's on. I mean, think about
Yeah.
how he got what 40 in fantasy or something a couple of weeks ago. So it's like they can play really well with him. His problem is that he has an injury history that you can't dispute and that he's just not consistent. But you can't say they didn't try to at least put playmakers around him on offense, at least at his skill positions, because he had Tyreek, he has Jalen
Waddle.
Waddle, he has A-Chain. I mean, his tight end, he doesn't really have one there. But I mean,
Well, yeah.
A-Chain, Waddle, and Tyreek should be all the skill players you need, in my opinion. They just, it's really just a shame. It kind of reminds me of Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck didn't have concussions, but think about what Andrew Luck could have done if he had had a team that had an O line that actually took his health seriously.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's kind of what happened with Tua. And it's just a shame because I don't even think he's bad, but at this point, I mean, you're pretty much going to get what you're going to get. He's probably going to be a really, really good backup somewhere
I could even see like him having like
or
some
on the
kind
Browns. He could go to the Browns.
The say this, there's the defense just again, it's hard to judge a Dolphins defense because it's Lamar Jackson. He does that to every defense. They got Dan Wilder out of retirement after 2 years, and he actually looked decent.
That's true. He's just on IR right
And
now.
and then he just got hurt, and that's it's a shame because I we thought after Tom Brady left, it's gonna be Josh Allen, the Bills, and the Dolphins find them, and the Jets being the Jets. But nope, it's back to the Patriots, number one team in the NFC East, and the Dolphins back in rebuilding mode. And speaking of quarterbacks that have, I guess not injury history, but just you don't want a young quarterback to go down like he did. Man, that Daniels injury on Sunday Night Football was bad. It was gruesome.
That
Oh
was
God.
bad, dude. That was one of the worst probably I've ever seen.
I didn't know what he because when he first went down, like you just saw I saw like the them bringing the card thing. I see all the players getting down one knee. I'm thinking, oh no, is it a knee? Is it an Achilles? Is it like a hamstring? And I like, what's going on? I can't even see anything. And then I actually watched the highlight closer, like, oh no, okay, that's the level. The fact that you got up and walked off the field is a testament to your strength, young man. But this was just a season from Hiffle for the Washington Commanders because with the Eagles as good as they are and the Cowboys actually somewhat respectable and how tough the NFC is, this is just you go from NFC
And the
champ
Giants even are not an easy out. I mean, they beat the Eagles one time this year, so
exactly like this is just it's a shame for the Washington Commanders and it's a shame and we just hope Daniels gets back healthy and better next year. Even if he can even play this year, but I don't know why you would just put him back out there at this point.
see, the crazy thing about it, so when Cam Scatterbo jacked his ankle up, the video was circulating on Twitter and
Yeah.
stuff. And I watched the video like 6 times and I couldn't figure out what happened. And then I watched it a seventh time and I was like, oh no. And let's just say I did not have that problem with Daniels's injury on Sunday. I didn't see him go down, so I was watching the replay and I saw that they brought out an air cast. So I was like, okay, well, it has to be his leg, right? And then I was like looking at something else, and in my peripheral vision, I saw his arm go the wrong way. I didn't even look at, I saw it in my peripheral, and I said, nope, not today. No, thank you. And then for the first time in my life, I saw someone walk off the field with an air cast on their arm. I don't know if you guys can recall. Maybe I'm just a young NFL fan, since the early 2000s, but I cannot recall seeing that before. Like for legs all the time, but for arms, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that. But, there's a lot of interesting dialogue going around in Commanders fan pages about and just NFL generally about Dan Quinn keeping him in the game, especially knowing
Yeah.
how injured he's been this year. Generally speaking, he doesn't really have an injury history, though. Did he have a knee injury last year or was that this year?
This year was the hamstring. It wasn't, it was like,
Okay.
it was a hamstring this year. I can't think, and maybe I would have to go back and look in college if he had anything in college, but no, like when Downs came out, there was just a worry. There was a worry about him being too skinny, but I think that
Yeah.
was the same way they worried about RG3, being another Washington
Or
quarterback.
even someone like Bryce Young. I mean, they had that issue with him as well. It's
Yeah.
just a shame because dude is so talented. He has an argument to be the best quarterback in his class, which is crazy considering you have Drake May and you have Bo Nix and Caleb Williams all in that class as well, which is crazy to think about. Um, but no, why was he in the game? I mean, they're getting blown out. Sam Darnold has like the best game of his career. He's almost a perfect passer rating. They were down what, like 28 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like, I understand not wanting to give up your dignity and to fight to win, to inspire your guys. Like, I get that. That's fine. But I do think there's a certain point where it's like, okay, do I want to just preserve my best players to win in the future
Especially,
rather
yeah.
than right now? That was a poor decision in my opinion.
Well, it's again, I guess hindsight's 2020 because it just if he doesn't
If
come
he
back,
hadn't gotten hurt, no one would have said anything.
it's
So
it's
that's
go
true.
it's gonna be like the Tom Thibodeau with the Derrick Rose injury back in the day when the Bulls up by 10 points with a minute and a half left in the playoff game. Why is Rose still out there? But unfortunately, that's just sports.
Yeah,
sometimes really
that's
great
true.
players get injured. And on the flip side, going to my point, is Seattle like the powerhouse in the NFC right now? Because I was looking this up. They have one of the best. They have the I think outside New England, they have the best run defense in football. I think they're a top 10 team in terms of average points per game. They don't give up
They
that many
have the
points.
best wide receiver in football, arguably, with
JSN,
Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Sam Darnold doesn't look like he's slowing down from last year, which
I know. Who thought
I did not expect that. I
I
didn't.
know, me either. Who thought he was going to look better than he looked in Minnesota? I mean, everyone was shocked how he looked in Minnesota. And then he goes to Seattle and he looks even better than that. I don't even know if Seattle fans saw this coming.
No, like the Vikings would not have given him up if he knew it was they would get that again. But
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
he's a legit possible MVP candidate. I'm looking him up now. Their two losses this year was an insane close game to Tampa Bay when Tampa Bay came back. Well, Tampa Bay was on their cardiac kids era back then, and then week one against San Francisco when San Francisco had an actual healthy roster. And
And week one, everyone is easing into the season. So it's like every team that loses week one, I feel like you can't give those losses that much credence unless they like really get super injured or something because everyone is warming up to the season because there's
yeah,
one less preseason game at this point.
but no, like this entire season, Seattle, and I didn't think Seattle was gonna be that special. This entire season, Seattle's been an amazing team.
They're
Um,
under the radar for
the one,
sure.
if I have any worry, it's just gonna be the running game. If Kenneth Walker can, they have a two-back system with him and Charbonnet, and Walker's always been a really good running back. One of my old friends from college has been a big into Kenneth Walker's stock for years. The only issue is can he stay on the field? Because when he's on the field, he's a really good running back, but when he's somewhat injury prone, so much he's always having a problem, always hampered with something. Which is one of the reasons why Charbonnet is he's a solid backup running back for him. But I think if I have that, and as much as we just were complimenting Sam Darnold, he did not end the season that great last year in Minnesota. That being said, all you need is get in the playoffs and see what you do. But Seattle and that gauntlet of an NFC West with them, San Fran, and the Rams. It's just insane.
And the Cardinals aren't an easy out either. I mean, they're not the
Yeah.
greatest, but it's not like they're the Tennessee Titans or the New York Jets. I mean, they still have talent on that team.
No, the Cardinals are a weird team.
They are.
I always think they're gonna be better than what they actually are, and then they win one or two games that sucks me back in.
I know. It's like every year, it's like they'll be good this year. 15 years later, are they good yet? No.
They're a perennial 7 to 10 win team, and it's just
The
very frustrating.
middest of the mid, I dare say.
Yeah, I guess one team that's never mid that has been mid since honestly I don't remember the last time this team was mid. Josh Allen once again and the Bills once again beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season, and they beat them pretty handily even though the score didn't show it. I feel like they held Mahomes to a terrible passer rating. Allen had 3 touchdowns, looked like Superman like always. Does anyone really care?
Fair question.
Because I don't care. Like, I hate to be that guy to say do in the postseason, but you lost them 4 times in the postseason. Just do in the postseason.
Yeah, no, I mean, they always look great against the Chiefs in the regular season. And I mean, it was at Buffalo, so they had that going for them. But, Mahomes' receivers were healthy. They didn't have Pacheco, but they had Kareem Hunt, who's still a serviceable starter. I think they lost an O lineman to an injury during the game, maybe. I'm not sure. I wasn't watching that closely. But yeah, no, I mean, they beat them. It was entertaining. Like that's good. But
Yeah.
like you said, like all the NFL fans, especially Chiefs fans, they don't give two craps about getting beat by the Bills in the regular season. Like I'm sure they care, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really impact them that much. Mahomes is 4-0 against Josh Allen in the postseason, both playing in Buffalo, I believe, and in Kansas City. They've played in
Yeah.
both places, and he's still 4-0. So I mean, Josh Allen won the MVP last year. I personally am of the opinion that it should have been Saquon or Lamar over Josh Allen. That was
Mm.
just me. But he did still win the MVP, and he is really good. I mean, he's a top 4 quarterback in football, like indisputably right now. So there's
Yeah.
no saying he's not good. It's just let's see it when it matters because they could beat them 100 times in the regular season, but until he takes his team and leads them to victory against them in the playoffs, most NFL fans they're not going to bat an eye unless that happens. Unfortunately.
There's only two things I'm going to take from this win. A, okay, the Bulls are keeping track of the Patriots in the NFC, so there's actually going to be a big show. There's going to be a showdown between who's going to get potentially home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and who's going to have to go on the road and win 3 games to get to the Super Bowl. And B, technically the Chiefs aren't in the playoffs anymore. So I guess that's one way to not to deal with the Chiefs in the playoffs. They just make sure because right now they're the eighth seed. The Chargers won and the Broncos won. So not if you know what, if you keep
Who
them out,
really believes they're not going to make it though?
me 5 weeks ago.
Ooh. It's like that
Yeah.
meme, of LeBron. Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. 5 weeks. Daniel in mid-September believes so. Daniel now does not believe so. But it's still it doesn't help the Chiefs losing games that when they're trying to battle in the speaking in the West Division, a tough AFC West Division with the Broncos seeming to be the cardiac kids winning every week, and the Chargers winning, but it's going to now be difficult because Sam Joe Alt's out for the season. But you know what? They're still technically at the top of the division, so who
You
knows?
know what I have to say to the Bills being able to potentially avoid the Chiefs if they don't make the playoffs? What I have to say about that is that's a cop out, and everyone knows it. That
Yeah,
they wouldn't have to play them in the playoffs. Even Bills fans know that's a cop out.
they would want to
Like
play the
there
Bills.
would still be tarnish on them if they made it to the Super Bowl and they didn't play the Chiefs. That's just how it is. I mean, that's what rivalries do. I mean, look at the Colts and the Patriots in the Brady Manning era. I mean, that's essentially that version now is Mahomes and Allen is
Yeah,
probably that version of it now. So we'll see, but it was a good win. I still
yeah.
don't think the Bills have a wide receiver one, so be interesting to see if they do anything before the trade deadline. Maybe try and go after an Olave or a Waddle potentially. They would be really good with Josh Allen, but only time will tell at this point. We're recording this on Monday, and the trade deadline is obviously Tuesday at 4 p.m., I believe. So I'm
hmm
interested to see what else happens. But they're going to need a wide receiver one to get deep in the playoffs. That's just the reality.
One team that doesn't need a wide receiver one is, well, technically, they don't need a wide receiver one or a wide receiver two. They just need defensive help, like desperately now. I love this so much. The Cincinnati Bengals lost another game when they scored over 38 points.
This is
I,
peak Bengals football over the last 3 years.
this is, Joe Flacco is putting up the greatest numbers of his career, and he can't win the game because the defense can't stop a cardboard. Okay, Chelsea is a bigger Caleb Williams fan than I am. I'm not saying he's not gonna be great or terrible. I want to see more from him.
I do too, in
Yeah,
fairness.
yeah. You can't gauge anything from Caleb Williams this game just because anyone can put up great numbers against this Bengals defense. And the funniest part of this game was not the fact that they lost another game and they scored 42 points. It's the fact that it's clear that Chase Brown and Jamar Chase wants to fight every player on that defense right now. They want to
Can you
kill,
blame them?
they want to kill every player on the defense. They're just like, there's nothing else we can do right. There's nothing else we can do. We
Chase
are
Brown is like, put me in at edge. What's the worst that could happen?
seriously like Jamar Chase was like, no, just put me on an island with whoever the best receiver is. I will. I'm a receiver. I know his routes. At least I can do something.
Put me in at corner, coach. I can prevent a touchdown.
I saw a hilarious meme of just like the teams like was it the Ohio teams need to take the Bengals offense and the Browns defense and you have the greatest team in NFL history.
Probably, honestly.
I just
Imagine you put Mr. Miles Garrett on this Bengals defense. He could probably turn them around single-handedly.
I just love the fact that before the year everyone was saying the same things. The Bengals are a good team, but their defense is going to hold them back. We knew this the entire offseason. We knew this going
Even
to this
after they
season.
signed Hendrickson.
Even after all that, we just said this still isn't a good defensive team. We didn't think it would be okay. We did probably think it would be this bad, but we didn't think it would be this hilarious. I'll say
That's true.
that.
And the final play to end the game of the two defenders running into each other and Colston Loveland scoring the touchdown, that was just like chef's kiss Bengals defense.
It, no, it reminds it's funny because there's a fun NFL Films clip of the Ravens 49 Super Bowl, and the Ravens the Ravens was counting off to San Francisco with like a couple seconds left, and Flacco's on the side like, if he returns it, I'm gonna just run off the field and tackle him. Like, what are they gonna do? They can't give him a touchdown. And you think Flacco was thinking, I may be 40, but this is ridiculous. Let me just run on the field and just tackle level at this point.
The craziest thing is that Flacco's not even the starting quarterback of this team. He's a backup who's 40, who, by the way, was playing with a sprained AC joint in his shoulder, still put up the most passing yards of his entire career. He's a backup. A backup quarterback did this against the Bears. A 40-year-old backup quarterback
Nah,
was
Bears.
injured, and they still lost.
If they were in my division,
It's just funny. I was watching that game. I was like, there's no way that just happened.
I, if they weren't in my division, I would feel really bad. Like, God, I'm
I
sorry,
do feel
but
really bad for
but
them.
but they are in my division, and I'm laughing like, oh, this is the
You're like,
funniest.
I feel nothing.
No, and I say this, and now they're going on a bye week, and then after the bye week, they actually, I believe, play Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh has a chance to avenge themselves if hopefully their defense performs like they did this past Sunday, but who knows? But yeah, speaking of old quarterbacks having career years, but this old quarterback having a career year actually has a good defense around him. Uh, Matthew Stafford leading the league in touchdown passes, and wasn't he supposed to have a back injury? We went into this season
He
saying,
did in the
like,
preseason.
yeah, okay, either he got the Terminator back enhancement or something, or all of that. You know what? Maybe we have to have an NFL investigation because I said, okay, I'm not trusting like a 37-year-old quarterback, 38-year-old quarterback going to the season with a back injury. Apparently, he doesn't need a back to throw a football to Puka
He has a
Nakua.
spine of steel, evidently.
Yeah, the spine of a lion
I
and a lamb.
guess. Dude, 21 touchdowns, I believe, leading the league. 21 passing touchdowns. Yeah. Can't say I saw this coming. I definitely thought the Rams were going to be bad this year. Thought they were going to be good on defense and okay on offense. I thought Stafford was going to be very mid, so I didn't think that they were going to really make any noise for a Super Bowl. But if they can keep Puka Nakua healthy, I mean, the AFC or the NFC at this point could go any which way. I mean, it could go Seattle, it could go Philly, it could go Detroit, it could go LA. I mean, there are a lot of ways that this could go. But LA has a really good defense, and if they can keep Stafford and Puka healthy and Devontae Adams' back doesn't give out because he's old, they might have a shot too.
I completely forgot about Devontae Adams. Oh yeah, it's just hilarious. It's funny
And
because
Kyron Williams
oh yeah, he had 100 yards yesterday,
and Tyler Higbee. They got
and
some actual good players on that team.
and Tutu Atwell. Like the funny thing is,
Yeah.
you talk about if they keep Puka healthy, he wasn't healthy last week, and Stafford put up 5 touchdowns on Jacksonville.
I
Stafford,
know. I traded for him in fantasy and I started him. I got 28 out of him my first week. Safe to
and
say I was pleased.
it's awesome because Massey was texting me this in our separate fantasy group chat. He thinks that the Eagles and Rams are going to be in the NFC Championship. He thinks those are going to be the two teams fighting to get to the Super Bowl. He's been a big Stafford fan since like his rookie season, and he was going crazy during the Super Bowl. It's like the hardest he's rooting for. The only other time I've seen him root for a non-Giants team in the Super Bowl, and Chelsea would like this, is anytime Peyton Manning's in the Super Bowl because Peyton's like his favorite football player.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, I definitely think that's not an unreasonable matchup. I think that at minimum, wouldn't shock me if Sam Darnold came back down to earth a little bit. At minimum, I think the Lions have something to say about that. I think the Lions are going to be making a real push to make it to the NFC Championship this year because their defense is actually healthy. They have Aiden Hutchinson back, and they've
Yeah,
looked really good on
back and
offense.
paid. He's paid.
Yeah, so I think they'll have something to say about it. Probably Seattle too, if they can keep this up, along with a couple of other fringe teams. But it's definitely something to monitor. I mean, even the Cowboys, if they make the playoffs, they might be able to outscore anyone. I mean, if they can drop 40 in the
Uh,
playoffs, they're not going to stop anyone.
yeah,
They're going to have to win 40 to
that
39. But if they make it, they might be able to outscore people in the first round or two.
no, yeah, that's the big way about the Cowboys. It's just they're the Bengals of the NFC. But
Yes,
it's
that's true.
a perfect transition from talking about the Lions is a perfect transition from a recap to week 9 to a look ahead to week 10. Because one of the games that I'm most looking forward to next this upcoming week is the Ravens at the Vikings because Minnesota went to Detroit and they To quote Chris Broussard, they tell them make me a sandwich. That was a game that I couldn't believe what I was watching, and I was like, really?
How
You know,
about JJ McCarthy?
uh,
First game back off injury. I think he
yeah,
had, was it three total touchdowns and one interception
something
against a
like
pretty
that.
good defense? That was impressive.
In Detroit too, it was in
Yeah, that
Detroit.
was impressive.
But honestly, what's even more impressive than that is the fact that Jameer Gibbs was basically absent the game. They shut
Oh,
down
my
Gibbs.
husband was very mad about that. I'm very cognizant of the fact he had 2 points in fantasy.
You saying he's mad about that? I had the Lions in the over in my DraftKings.
Well,
Just $10 down the drain. But no, like, so it's good. I want to see McCarthy. Obviously, it's just one game. I want him to see it do it a week, another week. You're going against a Ravens defense that just had a really good game, but it's going to be a second for me to trust Ravens defense again. I want to see how the Ravens can keep track now in the NFC. Now you have an extra days because of Thursday night. You're now going against an actual really good team, the Vikings, and not just a warm-up team with the Dolphins. Um, both these teams are in the outside looking into the playoffs. They're going to have to climb their way back into the postseason as potential wild card because I honestly, it'd be shocking. The Ravens probably have a better shot at division than Vikings, but I would be surprised if either of these team wins their division. It's going to be a wild card spot.
agreed.
So I don't know. It's going to be, I want to watch this game just see, am I getting, what Ravens defense am I getting, and what JJ McCarthy am I getting for the Vikings?
Yeah, no, I definitely think those are the biggest storylines. I'll be interested to see if the Ravens go out and trade for some defense. If they think that they have a shot to make it into the playoffs, which I don't think is unfeasible at this point as a wild card. Their GM is can be pretty like on the button with doing stuff. So I'm interested to see if he does anything. But no, I mean JJ McCarthy looked great. I mean, I want to see him do it again. He's played what? He's participated in what, four in his NFL career over 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely not enough data to make a judgment call on him at this point. But even though the Ravens defense has underperformed, they still have some really talented players on that defense. So it's going to be a challenge for JJ McCarthy, even still, even if they do underperform. So it'll be interesting to see. I probably got the Ravens in this game because with Lamar back, just opens up the offense. But I'm interested to see how JJ performs.
Yeah. And it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting seeing also how not that Derrick Henry, I might be worried about him, but I don't see Derrick Henry against the Vikings defense that just held Gibbs and Montgomery. Because honestly, I think the Lions have the best rushing attack in football. It's gonna be interesting to see how their rushing defense does against Henry and the run pass option of Lamar. But speaking of more teams in the NFC North, we also have one Chelsea's game this week is the G-Man of New York, Matthew's Giants, traveling to the Chicago Bears, which I'm surprised this was one of the games that you would pick. Please talk about why you're so excited about this game.
Battle of the quarterbacks. I'm interested to see how Jackson Dart bounces back after last week. They obviously couldn't run the ball that much without Cam Scattaboo, so I'm interested to see how they adjust against a bad Bears defense. Mostly for the quarterbacks. I want to see how
Mm.
Caleb Williams does against a, at least on paper, good pass rush. I mean, Brian Burns has been probably the best pass rusher outside of Myles Garrett in football this year. He has 10 plus sacks already. So I'm interested to see the Caleb Williams Jackson Dart battle is what I'm interested in. Because at this point, the Giants aren't going anywhere. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. They're definitely not winning their division. But it will be interesting to see how Jackson Dart continues to evolve. I mean, I even think Brian Dable and Joe Shane are fired at this point. I mean, I don't think they're going to make it past Black Monday if they're not fired in season. But I'm interested to see the battle of the youngins because Caleb Williams has been on an upward trajectory lately, and Jackson Dart has been a revelation for the Giants. So it's really for the rookie quarterback matchup.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'll say this. Speaking of bad
Not,
defense,
I mean, Jackson Dart's a rookie.
well, one's
Caleb's
rookie,
not, but
second year, but
yeah.
in terms of defenses, the Giants, even though Brian Burns has been playing awesome, the Giants' defense is still nowhere near what everyone thought it was
Dexter
going to be.
Lawrence has like fallen into a black hole, apparently. I don't know what's happened to him this year. If he's
So
just given up or He's hurt. I don't know.
It's it's not
He's
good.
he's the best DT in football. Him and
He
Derek Brown, I think, are the best in football. So it's shocking to see him not doing things.
it's actually causing a strife in terms of I'm not sure if you've been following this. Giants linebacking legend from the 80s, Carl Banks, criticized him in the media, and no one's
I
kind of
saw that.
they kind of hit back, and it's just like, dude, you're not having the best season. I get you don't want to hear random media people talk bad about you, but this isn't a random media person. This is a legend in New York Giants football, and Carl Banks.
Just stay off Twitter, bro. You're having a
Yeah.
bad year. Don't fuel the flames.
Well, one person who I know always listens to what the haters have to say is Baker Mayfield, and they're coming off their bye. I like the transition, whatever. They're coming off a
I mean,
bye.
he is that way. So you're not wrong.
He's going to host the New England Patriots, and I think this, to me, this is a game of me saying, are the Patriots a real contender, or they just take advantage of a very weak schedule?
The Bucks were the team I was forgetting earlier that will have something to say about the NFC Championship. I think they could make it very easily as well.
I'm not sure. I know Mike Evans is probably not coming back till the end of the year. I'm not sure what's going on with Bucky Irvin right now, if he's even gonna be able to come back or not. But I'm always gonna I'm always gonna rely on trust like a Baker Mayfield led team with that offense. He's already proven that he's a top tier quarterback in the NFL. This honestly, just the whole game is just me thinking, I want to see what New England does against a really good team. They I feel like they have the advantage of having one of the weakest schedules in football. I think honestly probably the weakest schedule in football. I don't even need to see him like win the game like a blow, even winning by a little. Just show me you deserve to be on the field with an elite team.
I
That's
agree.
my thing is what I want to see from this game. So yeah, that's it's good. I feel like this is going to be a good week of football in terms of that. And the last game that we want to talk about, which is this is going to be a big division matchup. The Rams are traveling to San Francisco, and man, this is the McVay versus Shanahan matchup that we all love to see every twice a year at least. It's always great to see these two coaches go head to head.
The question that's hanging over this game is Brock Purdy's toe gonna heal? Every week for like the past 3 weeks, he's been limited in practice and he's been getting rolled out again and again and again. Is he gonna come back?
Like Mac Jones ain't bad.
At this, he's not, but at this point, they should have just put Brock Purdy on IR. He's been out, what, 9 weeks with his turf toe injury? I mean, gosh. So if he comes back, I think this will be an even better game. I think it will already be good with Mac Jones because he's proven he can play in this offense. It's going to come down to whether the 49ers can stop the Rams on defense because
Which
they have nobody. So it's going to come down to seeing what they can do. If they can't stop them, they don't stand a chance. But if they can, I think this game will be competitive.
speaking of injury, the 49ers just lost their rookie first rounder from Georgia, Mikael Williams, for the season for a torn ACL
Are you
because
serious?
you know why? Because it's San Francisco. Because
Bro,
every San Francisco, they can't have nice things. Every year they're going to get injured. They can't have any nice things, and now the Dodgers are back-to-back champion in baseball. Your
dude, that's
state your
crazy.
cross state rival just won their second World Series in a row. So no, San Francisco can't have nice things. But even then, I'm still thinking San Francisco wins the game
Hey,
just
they
because
have Christian McCaffrey.
I don't know how. These I I don't know how he is the help. The fact that he is
It's
the
like,
healthy one
have you seen all those memes about how the 49ers are sacrificing themselves to keep McCaffrey healthy? You know, Luke McCaffrey, his brother, suffered I think it was a broken collarbone on Sunday and is out for the season. And the memes were like, even his brother went down to keep him healthy.
it's like watching like an old episode of South Park and like is Kenny gonna die? Or watching like any Sean Bean movie, like is he actually gonna make it to the end? Like we know how this story ends. He has to go down, but
Hey, I'll tell you what, dude. In Conlon's fantasy league, I have been storing Brian Robinson on my bench all year because I don't trust it. Not that I want McCaffrey to get
oh, of
hurt
course
because I
not.
don't. But I'm saying if he does, I've wanted to drop that man every week for 9 weeks. And I've been like, no, I'm going to drop him. McCaffrey's going to get hurt. And that hasn't happened yet.
Like Chelsea in my sleeper fantasy league, I was this close. It's a two QB league. I was this close to cutting Marcus Mariota because I had Jalen Daniels and putting Mariota as a backup the weeks he was out. And the last second I said, you know what? I think Downs might can't stay healthy, and then the injury happened. Like I'm not ha like okay, it's terrible that it happened, but man, I'm really happy that I kept Mariota on this roster.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's unfortunate. Injuries are always part of sports, and it's sort of like how launch codes football and all of our social media t tags are part of something. I don't know. The transition
Your
fell.
daily life.
Yeah, there we go. The transition fell apart at the end. Okay, just give him tell me where we're at.
Yeah, check us out on the socials, guys. This episode is obviously out on Tuesday. We will have our special secret episode out on Thursday morning, 8 a.m. So definitely look out for that. In the meantime, follow us on social media. We are on TikTok, Discord, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Launch Codes Football, and on Twitter at Launch Codes FB because for some reason, Launch Codes Football was taken. How dare they?
Whoever you are,
Those, I know. How dare they? Yeah, definitely hit us up. Let us know what content you want to see. We will see ya on Thursday. I'm Chelsea,
I'm Daniel,
and
and
we will see you next week.
the
Or
Steel.
on Thursday, I guess.
Yeah, and most importantly, the Steelers beat the Colts. Bye.
Bye.